Hey everybody, welcome to our Georgia Suburban Homestead. It's been a while since we've been live. And that's just because I just plain didn't feel like it. So, getting kind of burned out with this and trying real hard to, hey, Ag Board Jamaican, welcome in. So I'm just going to try to have a good time with this, and I want to thank my moderators, Suzanne Golette and Xander and the other people who have volunteered to moderate. Please forgive me for not being regular, but we're going to do it when we have something to say. I'm still going to have guests. I've got a few people who would like to be a guest, but I haven't been able to hook up with them yet. But here we are tonight. It is the 5th of June. And a lot's going on in the garden. I mean, if plants could sing, we'd have an orchestra out there with the chorus all singing at the top of their voices. The survival vegetables that we planted have come up. Some of them are only like that tall, some are like that. And when they develop just a little bit further, we'll go out and look at what they are and maybe how to eat them. And it's Charlie over there. I don't know why he's got a sound on. You coming in, Charlie?
I'm sitting in the backstage.
Adrian, you're sitting backstage. Welcome in, Adrian.
Let's see.
There you are. So greet everybody, Charlie. You're on.
Hey, I think I'm muted. Hey. Can't hear anything now.
Hey, Adrian.
Okay. I can hear you regularly.
She says, hello, Charlie.
Hey.
Just coming to my mic, baby.
I got you.
Just got to speak a little louder. Oh, where'd you go? You'd think after 3 years of this, we'd have it down, but we don't. Adrian, what you got growing? Agborn Jamaican, what you got growing?
I'm backstage again.
I see you. Turn off your mic there.
I got it.
All right. You don't need to put your ear set on either because you can hear me. I'm a few feet away from you. He likes gadgets. Oh, great. I've got headlines popping up on my screen. It looks like Israel's targeting the Freedom Flotilla that's trying to break the Gaza blockade. And Greta Thunberg is on the boat. She's one of my personal heroes. It says here that she's personally targeted in a drone strike. They just put out a video just a few minutes ago that they're picking up refugees floating in rafts in the Mediterranean. And the Egyptian Coast Guard answered their calls for help. And someone's walking away from our front door, babe. And when they transferred the people they rescued from the raft to the Coast Guard ship, the Coast Guard ship was actually from Libya. And if you're following the news, Libya is taking refugees and selling them into slavery. So a certain number of those people jumped overboard and swam back to the boat that Greta's on. And it looks like now Israel's sent in some sort of explosive to the boat. So things are heating up.
Well, they bombed the last boat.
So. Yeah, they bombed the last one she was on and sank it. Then, of course, we've got our illustrious, what's his name?
all of them have been involved in it.
Shoot. I hate senior moments. Anyway, he's from South Carolina, isn't he? He says, I hope Greta can swim. So, I mean, what an awful country we've turned
Graham?
into. Graham, yeah, Lindsey Graham. What awful people we are to elect people like this to represent us. Anyway, okay, so let's see. David Gray, glad to see you. New Horizons Above and Beyond, glad to see you. So Adrian says she's got tomatoes, peppers, tromboncino. My tromboncino only that tall. Spaghetti squash, yellow squash, greens, potatoes, cucumbers, beans, radish, maybe some carrots and cilantro, sage, oregano, lemon balm, and lavender. That is a lot. Yeah. Have y'all been watching our videos on the pizza oven? Charlie's finally, after a year of not working on it because of yours truly, my heart surgery and then his heart attack. Hopefully you've been watching our updates. He is working furiously on my pizza oven so that we can actually use it this summer. So Charlie, tell us about what you're doing with the pizza oven and how it's going.
Well, I'm putting on the 2 main outside walls. Got to get some more fire brick work on the second wall, and got to get some weather where I can actually do some mortaring for the first wall. I've got all the brick ready for finish the first wall. I'm using I'm recycling bricks, so I've got to clean off the old mortar, and I'm gonna have to slice a few of them, which I'm not real good at, evidently, to get them to fit. You got pictures, babe?
Do I have pictures?
You should have pictures. As for the garden, I've noticed my corn was tasseling the other day.
Whoa, tassels on the corn.
The squash that I planted with the corn is blooming. It's been blooming for a little bit. Haven't seen any female blooms yet. We've got small
Hey, David,
tomatoes.
glad to see you. David Corey. Sorry, Charlie, I got to greet my friend. He tells me I'm pretty.
Well, good for him.
Good for him, he said. Okay, so go ahead. Keep talking.
Anyway, I mortared in the floor, put a sand base under the mortar to act as a thermal break, but I also have fire brick on the floor, and then I went up one wall with fire brick, and I bought some what I thought was what's it called? Something mortar for fire. I can't remember. Anyway, it turns out it's it says it's mortar, but it's not. It's actually a mixture of broken up old fire bricks and supposedly something where you can cast it. There we go.
David says, no harm, Charlie, I promise.
Okay. Anyway, so
We'll tell everyone what we're looking at on the screen.
you have the wooden form. It's going to be a little tall. I haven't decided whether I like it being that tall or not, but hey, it's going to have a fire inside, so give it some room, right? Then you can see the base of fire bricks running under the form, and below that's about an inch of mortar on the outside with sand underneath the fire bricks to act as a thermal barrier or thermal break, so that it'll take a while for that heat to go all the way down to the cement.
So you've got the fire brick, and then you've got mortar on top of the fire brick, right?
Under it.
Under it.
Only on the outside. On the inside, there's a layer of, there there is a little bit of mortar under all the fire bricks, and then under a very thin layer of mortar is sand to act as a thermal break. And then like I said, I was stacking the fire bricks up the one wall, and the stuff I had bought is popped right out of my mind again. Mortar, fireplace mortar, or whatever you want to call it, wasn't really working to put the bricks together. So I dry stacked them and put a layer of regular mortar on the outside. That might crack at some point, but I'm also making it where the mortar will, the second layer of brick, the red brick, I'm mortaring to that wall or mortar. So even if the mortar that the fire brick is attached to cracks, as long as it doesn't pop off, it'll still stick to the mortar that's attached to the red brick.
Who's that?
That's Maurice. I was dry stacking those blocks, and Maurice knocked one of them off and broke it. But he just chipped a bit of it off, and I put it back together.
Hey, Suzanne, welcome back.
On the top row of the dry stack, so it doesn't have to carry any much weight. Although I guess there'd be some weight once I get the ceiling on the fire box. Like I say, I've been cleaning off the red brick and putting them in. Oh, look at you. Hi. You come over to see hi. I don't know if anyone can see him. He's in my arms.
Yeah, Maurice helps. So he just jumped in Charlie's arms.
Anyway, I've got the rest of the red brick for this side done. If you look under my elbow, you notice the last course isn't actually mortared in. I was stacking it to make sure it would fit. Then I'll work my way up, finish this side, do the other side, and then work on producing a roof. Lisa's got to order me a few more fire brick.
Did you ever come up with the final number I need to order for you?
I had a discussion with you about that.
You need to write it down because Airhead here forgets.
Okay. Well, it takes 25 bricks for a side. I've only got 10 more.
So that's 15 for the other side, but what about the back?
Well, I'm not real sure how many I'm going to need for the back. I was going to tell you a total of 50, and then if we have to deal with a little bit later, we can deal with a little bit later. Oh, thank you. Maurice is licking my nose, even though y'all can't see it.
Suzanne says they've got wildfire smoke. Is that the fires out of Canada, you guys? So Charlie's been doing that, and I've been trying to sell off the last of our vegetables that we started. And I've got a bunch of extra beefsteak tomato type. We've got blacks, we've got yellows, we've got reds, greens, and pink. And just a few left of each variety, but still. It seems that this year's pepper feature was Mexican peppers. People don't like them. They didn't buy them. So nix Mexico. I sold out of my Scotch bonnets within literally a couple of hours of advertising. I had Scotch bonnets, and I did 4 or 5 courses of them. In other words, I started seed 10 days apart for a couple of months. And so I'd release them as they got big enough to repot. And as soon as I'd opened up advertising on Marketplace, they were gone within a couple of hours. And then I had people showing up at the door. Are they ready yet? So it's next year we're going to double or triple how many Scotch bonnet peppers we start for people to buy. So that's exciting. We took most of May off as far as the weekend crafts fair to recharge our batteries and uh, restock because sales are picking up. I'm happy to report. Um, I don't think we're going to be bringing our plants. We may bring some of them to the next festival, which was supposed to be in 2 days, but I just got an email that they canceled it because we're expecting severe weather. So yeah,
Again.
Charlie, I hadn't told you that. But here in June, we have a festival on the 14th. It's called the Fat Flea. And that's going to be on Moreland Avenue in Atlanta on the 14th. And then we're in Stone Mountain downtown on the 21st. And in Auburn, Georgia on the 28th for their 4th of July celebration. And then we have rescheduled Sunday, the 29th of June. It's called Day of the Dairies, which is actually an apartment complex in downtown Atlanta. So that's a lot of festivals for 1 month, and hopefully it'll be a lucrative month because we have one festival all summer, and that's the day before my birthday. And I usually don't schedule us to do a market during the heat of the year because it's just brutal. But I figured it falls on the day before my birthday in July. So maybe that'll bring me some good luck, huh? So we'll hopefully have that one to rely on. Yeah, Susanna, if you want to pay for shipping, I'll send you a few plants. So get with me when I'm off camera, and I'll tell you what I've got, and we've got plenty of boxes here that I can pack them in, but you'll need to pay for transport. But the tomatoes are like that tall, maybe a little bit taller.
They can't see you.
They can't see me? Okay, I'm getting rid of your picture.
I couldn't see you.
Okay. So the plants are probably, with the bottom here, probably like that tall. So I've been having fun this month. I'm turning 65 next month. So those of you who are approaching that age and going on Medicare, it's a trip. It's a real trip. I have an agent whom I really like. His name is Pierre. He's Haitian. Has the most charming accent. He lives in the same town we do, so he's going to come over and hang out. Maybe you'll let me film him, put him up on the screen sometime. He helped me choose an Advantage plan that he went through meticulously and made sure all my doctors were on it and all my medications covered. And it's just been an adventure, okay? So we got that all settled earlier this week, and July 1st, that kicks in. So I started getting spam likely calls from Florida. It's the 954 number, same number. They'd call, and of course, if it says scam likely, we tend to not answer. We may answer it, but not say anything, hoping that they'll quit calling. And then we start saying things like, what? You don't want to say yes or hello or anything like that, because the scammers will use your voice to sell something or whatever. David says he went for a supplement instead of Advantage. We looked at supplements, David, and not all of them would cover all these medications they've got me on. The big thing was having a PPO, so I didn't lose my doctors. And I'm a big advocate of developing relationships with your doctor over the years so they know you, okay? And this playing doctor roulette and changing doctors every few years, I think, is asking for trouble. So I went with Humana I covered everything. And so anyway, randomly early in the week, I got these calls from this Florida number. And that number is 954-807-2805. Now, the reason I'm saying that over the airwaves, YouTube airwaves, is because starting today, they literally, starting at like noon, Charlie, or did I have a couple before noon? Starting at noon, they called me at least twice an hour. Twice an hour. Sometimes 3 times an hour. And I talked to them, I'd say, take me off your call list. I'm not looking for health insurance. They're like, we see that you've applied online. I haven't applied online. So evidently when you sign up for Medicare, your name and your information goes into some sort of system, and all these sharks out there start calling you. So finally, at just before 8 o'clock, just before I went on the air, I said to the person who called, I said, put your supervisor on the phone. And he says, may I ask why? I said, no, put your supervisor on the phone. Whoever your boss is, I want to speak to him. So this guy comes on, and his name was Brandon Marshall, Marshall. And I say, Brandon, who do you work for? What agency is calling me every 20 minutes? And he says he's not with an agency, he's with the state of Florida. Now, y'all listen carefully to this. He's with the state of Florida. And it's the state of Florida. He's a liaison for the state. And anyone who approaches 65 or has filled out an application, or in my case, my agent that has been my insurance agent for over a year now, put my information into the Medicare system, all of a sudden, all these sharks start calling you, right? And I said, Suzanne, I told the people, the individuals who were calling me, put me on your do not call list. That doesn't work. They won't do it. The individuals will not put you on a do not call list. Yeah, Florida. I said, I don't even live in Florida, okay, Brandon? And he says they were out of Clearwater, Florida. And they represent Medicaid, or I'm sorry, Medicare for the state. And I said, well, first off, I'm not in Florida. I don't live in Florida anymore. So why are you even bothering me? He's in the enrollment department. And I said, I want to know why you people call every 20 minutes. So that is harassment. It is harassment. Yes, I used to live in Florida, but I haven't been in Florida since 2014, Suzanne. Okay? So he says, well, you need to be on the federal do not call registry. And I am on the federal do not call registry.
I think they actually canceled the one that they used to have.
And then I looked it up, and our wonderful President Trump declared that null and void. So now you have to re-register. So if you are on a do not call list and haven't updated that you're on the list since Trump was inaugurated, you need to go back in. And then he told me to register at the nation's do not call registry. And I'm going to type into the comments section where you need to go to make sure you're on that list. Because let me tell you, if you're turning 65, you're going to start getting a call every 20 minutes until you cave in and let them sign you up so they can get credit for signing you up. Yeah, David, right. Okay, so the first one was do not call.gov. So you go to this link, go to that site, and make sure you're on the federal do not call list. Well, Adrienne at Indiana Backyard Gardener is one of my friends on Facebook, and she can tell you how much I love our administration. She reads my political posts. And then there's the national, and that is support at QW. So that's under the national is support at qwcorp.com, and then you look for do not call registry. Now, personally, I don't think we should have to do that. We should be able to tell the person calling us, don't call me, put me on your list. They should be able to put you on a do not call list. They'll say to you, yeah, okay, I'll do that. And then 20 minutes, you get a call from the same number. So this guy, Brandon Marshall with the state of Florida, the state of Florida liaison, says no, the individuals who are hired for the robocalling can't do it. You have to do it yourself. Now, when I said, I'm tired of you guys calling me every 20 minutes, he goes, oh, it's not us, it's a computer. What kind of logic is that? What is going on with people? You called me. It's your voice on the other side of the phone. The phone rang. It's you. Therefore, you're calling me, even if a computer dialed it for you. How do you like that for deflection? It's like someone that's either a police officer or in the military.
Talk about cats. I got a good cat.
He's got a good cat. Saying, oh, I was just following orders after you blow someone's head off, right? I'm just following orders. Deflect. Not take responsibility for what you're doing. That's what we've come to today. Okay, I'm going to rant about one more thing. Auto dialer, yeah. Let's see. So get the number to call them back and call them back every 20 minutes. I did. I gave you the number. Anyone else want to harass them? I'm going to type it in here. 954 807 2805. Call frequently, keep calling, saying, you called my friend every 20 minutes, we're calling you every 20 minutes. How do you like it?
They don't care, they're just there doing their job.
Yeah, but still, like the Hardy Boys. Oh, God. So we've got a market here in Georgia. It's called Namdaemun, Namdaemun, and it's a Korean-owned farmers market, and they popped up in a lot of the communities. They have really good priced vegetables, Asian vegetables, vegetables from the Caribbean, Bosnian bread that Charlie absolutely adores, but very good prices on fish. And they had a really extensive fish counter where you could pick whatever fish you want, and they take it off the ice and fillet it whichever way you ask them to. Hey, Xander, how are you? Thanks for coming in. Yay, wee! So recently they've redesigned their fish department. And they have these it's a counter with these teeny tanks underneath the counter with live fish in them. And my heart just breaks looking at these fish that are alive in containers that are so small they can't turn around. The water's nasty and cloudy, full of their urine and whatever. And who would want to eat a fish that's been steeped in waste, okay? Just waiting to die. And then on top of some displays, they had boxes of live crab and live crayfish, which I think is cruel anyway. We shouldn't be selling live animals to eat. what about the animals' rights? Those animals have feelings. Fish have feelings. Sure, the crabs do. And when I was there the other day, these two young ladies, they're older teens or young 20s, they're two girls standing with the blue crabs. And one was filming on her phone while the other one was taking the tongs and lifting the live crabs up that were just struggling and then dropping them. And then she'd lift one up and she'd crush its shell. Just crush it, wait till the shell crunched and laugh and drop it down. And then she started poking at it. And of course, it's grabbing at her. So, you know me, always the Karen, right? So I went over and I said to her, why don't you do that with your bare hand? And she looked at me and she said, what? I said, why don't you do that? If you're going to torture this animal, why don't you give him a fighting chance and do that with your bare hand? Let him show you how angry he is at you. And she says, have a good day. And I said, I'm not going to have a good day. That a young person like you has no empathy in them. Where are your morals? You don't torture animals before you eat them. And you're not even going to buy them to eat, are you? And, you know, she tried to point out that I eat meat because I was buying salmon steaks. I said, yeah, but my animal was killed and processed and it's not feeling pain, is it? I said, you know, that's up to me to reconcile if I'm eating meat, how I obtain that meat. And is the meat treated humanely, or was the animal treated humanely? In Islam, we call it halal, before they were slaughtered. This is just pure torture. This animal knows it's going to die. It's scared and it's willing to fight you. It's going to take you with it as far as it's concerned. So drop the tongs, stick your hand in there. Let that animal show you how much it appreciates what you just did to it. And of course, I got looked at like I have two heads, but that's how passionate I am about animal rights. And I'm just really disgusted. I mean, there's no empathy. Are we teaching our kids empathy? Is it something, you know, little kids love each other. They hug each other. They share their food. They play together regardless of what each other looks like, the color of their skin, their religion. They have all this love for each other. At what age do we ruin that? Huh? It just breaks my heart. And, you know, anyway, on to new subjects. So, you know me, I'm always trying to come up with new ideas of things to make to sell at the crafts market. So last year we started too late for Halloween, and all I could do with the pieces of jewelry. Now Charlie's laughing. So I got thinking, because I noticed that there were a couple of booths at the festivals we go to in downtown Atlanta that are, I don't know if you call it goth or what do you call people who are into like skulls and things, but they sell skulls and people were flocking in there looking at their skulls. I'm like, what can I do with skulls? So I ordered a mold from Let's Resin, and it came in, and I sat and I stared at it and I stared at it. And then something came out in the news about RFK Jr. with his brain worm, right? Swimming with his grandchildren in a polluted stream that they have warnings all over the place that don't swim here, you'll get sick. And remembering that he got that brain worm from exposing himself in a similar fashion.
I thought he had picked up roadkill and ate.
Maybe he picked up roadkill and ate it. I mean, he's got a brain worm, okay?
Supposedly had.
So I made this. Can you see that? That has maggots in it. What do you think of that? And hand-painted eyes? Give you a better idea. I said, nightlight. You can't see it. It's
too bright.
It's too bright.
There you go. You see the worms there?
You see the worms there. Yeah. Suzanne says someone will love it, but not for me. And that's one way I'm going to sell it with a disc under it. And then I have fairy lights. And I want to get y'all's opinion. Because in order to use this base, the wooden base, you have to have a USB port. And I don't know how many people have a USB port next to their beds. Y'all tell me. You too can macrame. I can't talk. Anyway, so I made kind of a hollow bottom to it. And you got to stuff your fairy light, which is just a string of lights that are LED. And if you bear with me just a second, I'll stuff them in there and show you what this looks like.
Yep.
So many of us have USB charger next to our bed. Okay.
I keep telling
me too.
Her that.
He says he keeps telling me that.
Use it for charging your phone when you go to bed.
In this instance, I would fabricate a coaster and put it on the bottom. And that's much more subtle. So here's another skull I did with earthworms in it. It's got earthworms.
Just don't say Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice? So that's that type. Then I did one with spiders. Now, which base do you all like for a light? And does he need eyeballs? Because I did eyes. Does he need the eyeballs? David has 4 beds in his house and sleeps in a recliner. It's okay, I sleep in a recliner too. Hi, Fuzzy Adventures. But then I got thinking, what else can I stuff into heads? So today in the mail, I got some more head stuffing. Are you ready for this? I have a packet that doesn't want to open. Oh. Nothing like being prepared for your broadcast. Huh? So I'm going to do another one with flies. Look, they're flies. Little red heads. I'm thinking if I do that, I'm also going to need.
There you go.
I'm also going to need to put a maggot or two with that. What do y'all think? And I'll do another head. Cockroaches. I'll do one with cockroaches. And then I've got, see the screws? I mean, that's a springs. I'm going to do a combination of springs and screws for those of us with the screw loose. Anyway, that's what I plan on doing. And then when Let's Resin sold me, the cat gonna flip out of your arms, Charlotte. When they sold me the mold for this, they sent little miniature skulls. So I'm making little mini skulls. and all sorts of types. So I've got some keychains, and this one wears a necklace. I think those would go over well. So some of them I went ahead and put a maggot in. So I'll do maggots, and I'll be having a video. One of the resin groups I'm a member of, people have gone nuts over it. Some of them are saying they wish they had thought of it, but they think they'll sell real well. So if any of you want a skull nightlight, you tell me if you want eyes or you don't want eyes, or what kind of base you want, and we'll work it out. But shoot me an email, and you can pay me through PayPal, and it'll be $35 plus shipping. But cotton for heads put flowers in them too. Yeah.
Gears.
You can do flowers. Cotton for heads in the clouds. Cotton balls. I'll have to look up how to do that. Someone put a video out. One of the resin people put a video out, I think this week, on how to do cotton and resin. I'll look at it. Suzanne says it may go well. Should be a hit for Halloween. Box glove. Yes, that's significant. It would kill you. On my channel, Fuzzy Adventures, spiders are being empty-headed and only spiders living in your head. Oh. What else is kind of a tongue-in-cheek?
Gears.
Huh?
Gears.
Spell that?
G-E-A.
Oh, gears. Charlie likes gears. For engineers?
Gearheads.
Gearhead? Okay. We've got gears. So if we do the flowers, though, be something like a preserved rose? Well, welcome, Fuzzy. Fuzzy Adventures has a couple of kitty videos. Bet you don't have a kitty like Charlie's got a kitty over there. Yeah, the Day of the Dead, Adrian, I've actually had a mold come in today. This is the mold. And you can't really see. Can't really see the shape of it. I'm going to try to hold it up for the camera. But again, it's about the same size as the other skull. Can you see all the filigree in there?
No. Oh.
Can you see the filigree that's in there?
No, not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
Let me see if I can get a picture of one that's done. I'll give back to you. Charlie, say something entertaining.
I'm not much of an entertainer.
Oh, another thing I ordered was
you,
ants.
Maurice? Would you want to say something?
Who, Maurice?
Give them something to talk about, Maurice. I'm just licking your feet.
That cat stays with Charlie all the time. He's like,
makes it kind of hard to get work done around the house sometimes.
Yeah, he's always looking for attention from Charlie.
He came to us just a little bitty guy. He didn't stay little very long though. But I tried to work on feral cat. I tried to work on making him, less feral. He was kind of feral. And
So there it
I
is.
succeeded.
Yeah, remember Maurice came home with me from work. He was in the parking lot at work. So this is this mold.
The cat named Velcro.
Velcro. that would be apt for this cat as far as Charlie's concerned. Now he'll love on me, but not quite like his dad. So if I painted the inside of this with gold, maybe just stick with gold, or do you think that the
I'm hoping you'll be able to get it out of the mold.
Charlie doesn't think I can get it out of the mold. Sure I can. Yes, a lot of details, Suzanne.
Some pretty deep insets.
Well, they wouldn't have made it if you couldn't use it.
They make it to sell, not necessarily to use.
I could do a squishy in it. Squish, squish.
I don't know if I guess they would keep the detail.
Yeah, I would keep the detail. Be really good stress relief, just but I think you see, this is what they call a chameleon powder that as you turn it, it changes color. Here's another one.
Show them your coasters.
Some can be stretchy. See how that changes colors? You turn it. That might be interesting for that. You want to show the coaster? This is one of Charlie's favorite coasters that I'm making. Can you see how that changes color? Now it's green. Now it's red.
You can get some blues on occasion.
Get some blues on occasion, yeah.
Get it the light just right.
Now, this is his favorite thing that I've done, and I've done 2 sets of them.
Yeah, and the silicone molds are really stretchy, thankfully.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we wouldn't have gotten some of these things out.
Yeah, sometimes because my thumbs, I'm kind of giving myself sore thumb joints with the wire wrapping on the jewelry I'm doing. So I bring Charlie the more difficult molds, and I'll hand him probably this one and say, "Get that out of there." So, do you like that coaster, Suzanne? Everyone's gone awful quiet. Yeah. So here we are. So that's what yours truly's been doing. I don't know. My favorite is almost the spiders. And again, I can't decide whether that calls for an eyeball or not.
Yeah.
What do y'all think? An eyeball, would that enhance it or take away from it?
Makes it more spooky.
Makes it spookier?
Yeah.
I think David just made the comment earlier, David Gray, that he likes the eyeballs. Because that's something I've made separately. I made a bunch of eyeballs.
A lot of eyeballs.
A lot of eyeballs. Some of them with glow-in-the-dark colors. So my engineering husband needs to come up with a way to keep these lights in here. And I'll have to come up with a base for it. That's more subtle.
It's not as bright.
Well, it doesn't have to be bright. It's a nightlight, right?
Yeah.
You're not going to be trying to read by it. So what do you think? Adrian's laughing at us, Daddy. Okay.
Hey, people buy weird things.
People do buy weird things.
You never make stuff that you like yourself because only a few folks are going to like the same thing you do.
You know what they didn't send me? They didn't send me the ants. Or maybe that's what I thought were the package of more spiders. I didn't remember ordering more spiders. Let me look.
And yes, you can see this whole shelving unit full of stuff.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4 of these shelving units you see behind Charlie that goes all the way up with the basket, full of crafting stuff now. The one in here is all jewelry making.
Maurice likes to put his head under my beard.
Okay. Fuzzy Adventure says her cat was a rescue cat from Ohio. She was left abandoned by her original owners in 0 below weather, and we decided to take her. She rode all the way from Ohio to Missouri 4 years ago. Oh, bless you for taking her in. Okay, so these are ants. Ant, spider, what's the difference?
No, those are definitely ants.
Those are definitely ants, y'all.
Count the legs. Spiders have 6. Excuse me, spiders have 8 and ants have 6.
Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 more skulls, plus 1 with flowers that someone here suggested, flowers and cotton balls for head in the clouds. That's quite a few skulls, and then we've got the filigree skull. So I've really lost my head over this. Yeah, we've adopted some animals that were abused like that. In fact, David Gray, are you still here, babe? Is Mr. David Gray still here? David, we've got a new aminal that we rescued out of the middle of the road.
Oh, yeah.
Fred. Fred had been hit by a car. We were heading out to grab dinner at a takeout place, and he was sitting on the yellow line, sitting up back on his haunches with his hands like this and his head down. And that's unusual for a possum. They don't usually sit like that. And traffic was so bad, it was rush hour. And if you've been around Atlanta at rush hour, you know how terrible the traffic is.
Rush hour starts at 4 and ends at 9.
So I said to Charlie, on the way home, I don't care how busy it is. You're pulling over so I can help this animal if something hasn't mushed it. So a few minutes later, we headed back home. And sure enough, he was sitting there.
Oh, a pregnant cat. No, boy.
So Charlie kind of blocked traffic, and I got out of the car and walked over to get him. And the car behind us stopped. And I bent over and I grabbed him by his tail and picked him up, put my hand under his belly. I don't know if any of you know how to pick up a possum, especially a wild one. You grab them at the base of their tail, put your hand between their hind legs and support their bellies. Possums are really stiff. They can't really twist around like a cat can and get you. They do this bit, but they're kind of stiff. So I walked back with him this way to the back of the car. One person who was going by in their car yelled out, "Are you crazy?" Yes. Put him in the car, closed the door. When we got home and I got evaluating him, he had broken his right side of his jaw. It was halfway firm and then fell off. He had teeth hanging out of his mouth, just attached by a thread. He had puncture wounds on his neck and on his shoulder, like some animal. Huh?
It must be too hot.
Oh.
Maurice got down.
Some animal had picked him up sometime prior to that and injured him. And I got him home. I said to Charlie, I think he's okay. I don't see any signs of internal bleeding or anything. His color was good. And contacted a veterinarian that does wildlife. And they said, bring him in. So we went in with him. And I said, do you want to turn him over to someone to rehab? And they said, well, you're doing just fine. We put a sling around his face. Tried to. And did a figure 8 with it and tied it on. It secured his jaw. And brought him home. And that lasted maybe 3 or 4 days. And he pulled it off. But he can lick. We can't give him anything that he'll chew. So he's getting baby food and soft foods. And so we put him back in a sling and put booties on his front feet because, they used our hands like fingers. And that lasted about 3 days. And we put another sling on him and he took it off within a couple of hours. So we put another sling on him. He got his booties off and then took that off. So I said, okay, Buster, I'm going to put booties on all 4 of your feet. So he got all 4 feet with booties. Put a cotton ball so they have something to curl their toes around, and you tape it up like little mittens. And it only took them a couple hours to get all 4 of the booties off.
Well, it took him less time to get the booties off than it took us to put them on.
Yeah. But by this time, his jaw looks like it's okay. It's mended. It's stiff again. So the vet said it'd take like 12 weeks. So we look to have a nice release ceremony in a couple of weeks now. Maybe.
Because he may be blind.
Well, we're not going to say he's blind yet. I really don't need any more animals, please. But he's decided he's in hog heaven. And he's in a cage next to Joy. And they have no interest in each other. It's a male-female, which is interesting to me. So I'm trying to put some weight on him, and when he can get to the point where he can chew, and I know he can take care of himself, I'll put him out in the backyard and wish him well. So I hope he can be released too. But I named him Fred, P-H-R-E-D, which is the name I give all animals that are temporary with me that are male. Everyone's Fred. He looks to be an adolescent, less than a year old. Possums have a hard time. They live on average 2 years in the wild, and the mortality is really more from humans targeting them, running them over, and letting their dogs attack them, to literally striking them with shovels and things. And they are such essential animals. They really are. And I love them. If you ever knew a possum, you would probably love them too. They're eccentric little animals, and they don't mean you any harm. So David says he's got a new pregnant cat named Pearl. So tell us about Pearl, David. What color is she? Suzanne, the possums will leave your pets alone. They may come eat side by side with your cat on the back porch. They don't attack your animals. They don't carry rabies. Their body temperatures are too low for the rabies virus and the distemper virus. So no worries for those. They do exchange fleas. But, they should be fine. She's a silvery gray tabby. Young. How young? Under 6 months, Gray? David, they say when cats or stray animals turn up at your door, that's a blessing. It's a sign that the Creator knows you're safe and tells them you're safe, or the Creator says, here's something to look after you. I firmly believe that. What do you think about the cockroach on my cheek? Think I could start a new jewelry craze?
Doubtful. Maybe on your forehead.
Got a cockroach in my eye. Oh, now it's in my glasses. So what are you going to do with the babies, David? And do you know how close she is to delivery? Oh, it doesn't pertain to people, David. That people are not kind spirits. They will attack cats that compete for food. I've had to treat the wounds. Part of the reason I haven't seriously considered getting another cat. Really, Suzanne? Because I've never had one here attack a cat. You're going to keep them, you're going to end up with a house full of cats.
Going to have to get them all spayed.
Get them all fixed. So what do y'all think about my cheek roach? How about one out of the corner of my mouth?
Nah.
Okay, so picture this. Someone tunes into my channel for the first time, and they see me sitting here. With roaches all over me. Want a roach for your bald spot, Charlie?
No, thank you. Comfortable with the world.
What do y'all think? Can I start a new trend? Those look pretty real.
Yep.
So where do I find bugs, you all ask? I know everyone's asking that. Amazon sells them for people who make fishing lures. But those are bug fears they'd leave in a heartbeat. I have a feeling a lot of people have left because of my politics, but that's okay. I'm all about inclusion. I don't care where you're from or what you believe, what you look like, what language you speak. Everyone deserves dignity, respect, and dignity. And I get very loud and obnoxious about that, as Adrienne could tell you. Although she does like some of my memes sometimes. And I'm totally dismayed at the way the world is right now. And I guess it's always been this way. It's just the internet has
made it much easier
giving people a platform where their true selves can come out and they can abuse other people. So I hope nobody who visits my channel and spends time with us here during our lives, I hope none of you feel unwelcome. Everyone's welcome here. Except for the hecklers, the hecklers who get vulgar. But I especially welcome people who love people and who love animals and gardening, and because that's what we're about here at our Georgia Suburban Homestead. You at least made it, Xander? Just saying, have anyone ever heard of someone getting bitten by an opossum? No, unless you're messing with them.
You gotta mess
if you're messing with them, then they will defend themselves. They have a number of different ways to defend themselves. One is going into a dead faint, and everyone's familiar with the playing possum bit when they pretend they're dead, and they actually slow their heart rate and their breathing down to appear dead, and then they defecate on themselves, so they have this panic poop that's got a stink to it like they died a week ago. And so they do that in an effort to convince whatever it is attacking them that they've been dead too long to eat, that they're, hands off. But you got to be careful if you go to pick one up that's doing that, because you can pick it up and it comes back awake, and then it's all teeth.
And it's got the most teeth of any animal or mammal around.
Yeah. So as Charlie was saying, the possum have more teeth than any other mammal on the planet, and they are sharp. They are specially designed to skin grapes. They'll skin a grape or a piece of apple. You give it to them and they'll roll it around in their mouth, swallow the fruit, and spit out the peel, literally the peel without any fruit left on it. Better than any knife you ever used to peel anything. So then they've got those fangs, and when they latch onto you, and I've been extremely bitten up by a couple, because scars on the inside of my knee to prove it, that they can really do you a number, but you have to be asking for it. Okay, so Suzanne says, David says he doesn't care for most people. That's me, David. It's kind of weird. I love everyone, but I hate everyone too. Does that make sense to you? Okay, so Suzanne says, if you keep away from possums, they don't bother you, but one took up residence in a barn at the family farm back in the day and wanted to have it all for themselves. Not happening. Sorry, possum.
Yeah, you had a bunch of rats.
You had a bunch of rats in that barn. That's what that possum was doing, eating your rats. Yeah, Suzanne, I promise you, possums do not stick around if there's not something to eat. And they will take up residence somewhere as long as there is something to eat. And that something can be snakes, rats, mice, cat food or animal food if you're feeding one of your pets. But if you stop feeding your pets in that area and the rats and snakes have all been consumed, then they move on.
Yep.
I promise.
They follow their food.
They follow their food. And I've been dealing with possums for about 25 years, Charlie. Has it been that long?
Yeah.
Weasels are great, but they'll eat your chickens too. I've got a friend up in Canada that's got a couple of pine martens that come visit him on his porch. He worked an overnight shift for some company doing security. And that's how I met him. He started posting pictures and videos of the pine marten, which is a type of weasel, coming and looking in the window at him. And finally I got so it would come down and share his dinner with him. They're kind of interesting. Yeah. So, quick before we sign off, I wanted to ask y'all what you all doing. Anything you want to share? Does anyone want to come join us on the panel? Um, aren't they?
What happened to that actor that called himself a weasel?
Actor that called himself a weasel.
Yeah, what was that movie?
I don't know.
He did a movie about the biodome.
Okay, someone want to come up on the panel with us? Click that. Everything you would want chickens here. You have to make a little chicken prison with all the predators. So no chickens for me, but some neighbors have some, I believe. Yeah, we've got a chicken prison out there, but it's a huge compound. Things still get in and kill the chickens, though. Snakes have killed 2 chickens. And they weren't venomous snakes. It's probably the big black rat snake that lives here.
Polly Shore.
Who?
Polly Shore.
Polly Shore.
Yeah, you have to be kind of old to remember him.
I can't put a face with the name. Polly, S-C-H-O-R?
Yep, S-H-O-R-E.
Oh, I remember him. He was kind of weird.
Yep.
Rose to fame in the 1990s.
Kind of burned out, I guess.
MTV, yeah, he's probably drugged out. Yeah. So anybody want to come up? Come up, come up. Anyone else have anything to add? David, how's your garden going? Suzanne, how's your garden going? Oh, I'm wearing one of my favorite t-shirts, y'all. These guys are two of my heroes. You know who they are? Surveying. Yeah, you can make some money if you gotta like being outdoors in all sorts of weather, David. Hiking around in the woods and rough terrain. And it sounds like something you'd enjoy. You can make some money doing that. I've got a couple of friends who do it. I also know several people who are home inspectors. You know, when someone goes to buy a home, you've got to go out and inspect, look for damage and things that need fixing and give a report. That's another thing you can do that makes money, but it means you have to interact with more people. Suzanne says she's been dealing with stuff way behind Garden Wise.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Again, Suzanne, shoot me an email and I'll tell you what I have out there. Maybe I can send you some if you'll pay the shipping. Decide how many plants and they fit in the boxes or whatever. So, Suzanne, what do you think about David becoming a surveyor? What do you think, Charlie?
Used to be a very prestigious job. Took a lot of math and having to know your the laws, meets and bounds, and all that stuff. There's usually 1 or 2 in any county. And they keep them busy. everybody having, oh, this is my property. No, you're 2 feet over there. Arguments. Have to deal with that. But yeah, it's a job.
You need a 4-year degree to do it, Charlie?
No, I don't think so. You have to be certified. Probably have to know how to use, well, chains and what's the thing? A secant. Sectant. Thank you. I've got a sectant.
You've got a sectant. What do you not have?
What?
What don't you have?
Yeah. Well, I don't have.
He's an engineer. He collects tools.
I don't have the right type of chain. But yeah, my job is I deal with folks who use those things all the time. Although GPS is kind of taking over.
I'm sure that the profession is morphing with the times, though.
Oh yeah.
So David says he only needs 27 credits to get a BS in it. How many credits per class?
Usually 3 to 5.
I was going to say about 4. So it's 7 classes you need, David? I'd say go for it.
Never stop learning.
Never stop learning, as Charlie said. All righty, everyone. I want to thank you for coming in, spending time with us. It's been a minute. And again, I'm not going to do this on a regular schedule anymore. I've given up as far as trying to reach that monetization goalpost, and I'm just going to share. I'll share what we're doing in the garden, what we're doing for crafts. I'll probably post more videos of our trade shows and us cooking on the pizza oven, just talking. So it'll be a lot more laid back and less focused on gardening, but I'll still talk about gardening. And hey, Gwen, better late than never. You've been grabbing what? You missed the skull with the worms in it. Ah. Your potatoes are doing great. How's your potatoes doing, Charlie?
Oh, they're tall. I haven't looked to see what, if they're forming any potatoes, but the plants are nice and big.
I noticed you've got nice purple top
turnips
out there.
Finally. We ought to look and see if any of the carrots are doing anything.
I looked at the carrots the other day, and they're growing the nice greens, but I'm not finding much in the root.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. We didn't get radishes much either. Got radish greens, but we didn't actually get radishes. I think the problem was that the area we planted them got shady from the trees too fast.
Oh, David has garlic scapes.
Ah, nice. I noticed the other day the asparagus was coming back. I had cut it back a little bit.
We could probably pick some and eat some occasionally now that I've got my gout under control.
Okay.
So we've about 4 or 5 spears out there right now, right?
Yeah, they're probably too old now. Too tall, woody.
David had a few strawberries today. Yum.
Yeah,
strawberries and garlic.
Great combination there.
Hey, no. We've been doing some green hydroponically. Had our first salad tonight. It was wonderful. It's nothing like homegrown, huh, Gwen? Nothing like. David's been eating lamb's quarters.
Oh, we've been harvesting cauliflower.
We've been harvesting cauliflower, that's right, and strawberries, and the mulberries aren't done for the year. They'll be ever bearing, right? The variety we have.
They were ever bearing down in Florida. They haven't been that way up here. Um, we'll see. It might.
What else do we have? We've got the blueberries are starting to come in. Suzanne says the critters wrecked her strawberry plants last year. Not getting any more unless I have a solid fence. You know what we did this year, Suzanne, if you've been watching our videos, is we put them in the green stalk planters, and so far they've been critter free. Except, let me take that back. A wren decided that she would put her nest in one of the planting. You know how it's got the different boxes, 5 boxes per layer. She built a nest and raised a family, but I don't mind that. If she wants to bring up her young among the strawberries, more power to her, right? Gwen says she's bunny rabbits. Yeah.
We used to have, when we lived in Florida, we had little land, and we'd come home at night and the bunny rabbits would be sleeping with the cats.
Yeah. We came home one night and we were living outside of Gainesville, Florida. And it was a cool enough winter night that there was a little bit of frost already. And on the hill, so the driveway leads up to the house. And there on the hill right beside the driveway, curled up together was my cat and a jackrabbit sharing body heat. I thought that was interesting. So what's for dinner, Adrian? There you go, Gwen. And Suzanne says rabbits are doing what rabbits do in her yard, multiplying. So that's cool. Anyone else want to talk about what they're doing in the garden? Otherwise, I'm going to go. Had a stromboli from a local pizza place for dinner. What did we have for dinner? We just ate it. Oh, hot dogs.
Chili.
Yesterday, we went to the dentist, and Charlie's got how many cavities?
Several.
7?
Yeah. Well,
he's got 7 cavities he's going to have work done. I have a cracked crown and 1 cavity. Then today we went to the endocrinologist for me. And on the way home, Charlie bought me you go see your diabetes doctor, right? So what do? You go have a banana split after you see him. And then we had hot dogs. And then tomorrow we go see the dermatologist.
pigeon peas and rice. Smoked chicken.
Corey's been in Scope Yard trying to find the rabbits. Rice and granules. Granules. What's that?
Pigeon peas.
Pigeon peas. Oh, okay. With smoked chicken sausage. Yum. And she's going to the Ozark meetup tomorrow. Oh, that's exciting. Wrong emoji. Yeah, I was going to say, why are you crying?
Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's a crying emoji. Yeah, Adrian 7. I have to nag him for over a year to go see the dentist. So finally, I cracked a tooth and I knew I had to go. So I made an appointment for both of us. And I said, you are coming with me to the dentist. So now he's got at least 2 or 3 visits to make to get all his teeth done.
Well, they put me on medication that gives me dry mouth at night, and that causes a particular type of root of tooth decay. Odd side effect of Meniere's disease.
Yeah, his teeth going bad on him because the medicine that he's taking for his Meniere's. Yeah, but I've been smelling on his breath for months. I've been smelling that he had a problem, and I kept saying, "What? Call the dentist." And he wouldn't do it. I don't know whether he's scared of a dentist or what it is, but I've got to be a nag to get him to take care of himself. Anyway, y'all, thanks for spending time with me, and I'll try to come on again before the end of the month. Suzanne and Xander and all my lovely friends who volunteer to moderate for me. We didn't have the heckler tonight, thank goodness. I love you all, and I value you. I value everyone's friendship, and even the people that watch on the playback. I wish you'd be here for the live because we'd love to hear from you, have you interact with us. But peace, blessings. Thank you for being here, and stay tuned because I will be posting videos. I'm just not pushing anymore. Okay. So everyone be well. Love you. Be good to each other. And chill out, right?
Take care of the fur babies.
Don't get brainworm.
Yeah. Don't eat roadkill.
Don't eat roadkill. Yeah. All right. Bye.